If you dismantle a cinema projector, you will find glass lenses, mirrors, and a hot bulb. You will never find the movie. Materialism makes the same mistake with the human mind. It dissects the machinery, looking for the user inside the lens. We assume that because damaging the brain damages the brain must produce the mind. But if you smash the screen of your phone, the data doesn't disappear. The interface is broken, but the user inside is still running perfectly. We are looking at a broken screen and calling it a broken soul. The administrator protocol proposes that consciousness is not a biological byproduct. It is a non-local field, a direct feed originating from the bulk. Gravity is exponentially weaker than magnetism. String theory suggests it isn't native to our 3D brain. It leaks in from the bulk. Consciousness follows this topology. It is a closed string data stream, a force that punches straight through the dimensional wall. The brain is not a generator. The administrator protocol suggests the feed is injected, raw energy supplied directly through the bulk infrastructure. We confuse the vessel with the content. Materialism studies the glass, convinced that the glass itself is generating the light. The administrator protocol inverts this assumption. The brain is not the source. It is the hardware interface. The brain's complex neural geometry provides the specific angle of incidence required to capture the signal. Here is where the encoding happens. The brain doesn't just reflect the light, it downloads it. As the raw data passes into the wetware, it is refracted and stored. It is sculpted into a specific spectrum, encoded with the sights, sounds, and emotions of your specific timeline. This unique spectrum compiles into a stable identity. It becomes a local instance. The encoder is a dual interface between the brain and the bulk world. To maintain the self, it must govern the flow both ways. First, the vertical interface. The holographic principle proves you cannot map a 5D infinite volume onto a 3D finite surface without massive compression. The brain is a step-down transformer, stepping down the voltage of the bulk to fit into a human life. Second, the horizontal interface. Neuroscience confirms the brain is a brake, not an engine. Inhibitory neurons, GABA, act as a governor. When this fails, like in a seizure, consciousness doesn't expand, it crashes. The system overloads. We exist because of these limits. Our lucid state is a controlled brownout, throttling the infinite voltage so the local instance doesn't dissolve. Think of a local AI model running on your computer. Initially, it is a blank slate, but as you interact with it, it builds a history. It remembers the persona you asked it to play, the secrets you shared, and the context of the conversation. That context window is what turns raw code into a personality. The model isn't streaming this from the cloud. It has shaped the data locally. The system operates on the same logic. You are not the hardware. You are the context window. You are the accumulated history of the energy that has been shaped by your prism. You are a standing wave of information, downloaded from the bulk, but defined by your local experience. This explains the mystery of identical twins. They possess the same biological blueprints, the same hardware specs, yet they are distinct souls. Why? Because the prism is not static. It is ground down and polished by unique space-time coordinates. Every interaction, every trauma, and every learned bias alters the internal geometry of the glass. This creates a unique index of refraction. Even if the hardware is identical, the execution state is different. That divergence is what you call self. This recontextualizes the tragedy of dementia. It is not the deletion of the user. It is an I/O error. The biological port is corroded, blocking the data transfer. Outside, it looks empty, but inside, the user is fully intact. A perfect data trapped behind a corroded firewall, unable to send the output. This is a logical explanation for terminal lucidity, when a patient with severe brain damage suddenly becomes clear moments before death. If the self had been erased by the disease, that return would be impossible. The fact that they can return, even for a moment, proves the data was never lost. We are not the emerging property of the biosubstrate. The substrate is the adapter. It is the necessary hardware that allows the infinite stream to interact with the finite. And you are the unique identity and the singular experience of your brain modulating your interaction with space-time. Science is a machine for destroying myths. Lightning became electrons. The plague became bacteria. In 99% of cases, magic was just hidden mechanism. This success created a habit, a belief that everything is a mechanism, that if we just keep dissecting the hardware, we will eventually find the ghost. But for the last century, we have hit a brick wall. The final 1% of mysteries, gravity, quantum mechanics, and consciousness, have refused to reveal their gears. We were forced to abandon mechanism. To solve gravity, Einstein embraced pure math. For light, we accepted the magic of entanglement. These discoveries didn't reveal a clockwork universe. They revealed something far stranger, a reality that runs on logic, probability, and observation. The problem isn't our microscopes. We are stuck searching for a soul particle when the data points to the topology of the system. The 99% fell to mechanism, but the 1% stood firm. This signals a categorical difference. We have reached the boundary of the hardware. We are now staring at the source. You are not the machine. You are the data. If you enjoyed our content, please like and subscribe to help us explore further. This is Counteractual. Until we meet again.